Hey y'all, this is T.R. McCoy, and good to see y'all today. But I'm going to give a review of what we went over during our evening prayer, and what we talked about was the great apostasy. For those that don't know what the apostasy is, it's when the world turns away from God. It talks about it in Second Thessalonians. The King James Version calls it the falling away, while the NIV and the ESV call it the rebellion. And that's when the abandonment of the truth. The end times will include a wholesome rejection of God's revelation, a further fall away, a further falling away of an already fallen world. That's what it says. That's what apostasy is. I think I'm saying that right. Apostasy. The occasion of Paul's writing to the Thessalonians was to correct some of the errors concerning the end times that the believers had heard from false teachers. Among the falsehoods was that the day of the Lord had already come. Second Thessalonians 2:2, the Christians in the Thessalonia were afraid that Jesus had already come and they had missed the rapture, and they were now in the tribulation. Paul had already explained the rapture to them in his first letter. And this talks about that in First Thessalonians 4:16 and 17. Paul writes his second letter to assure them that contrary to what they had heard, and despite the prosecution they were enduring, the day of Christ had not yet come. And there's a couple things that had to happen before that to become the great apostasy. You know, the man of lawlessness, according to Second Thessalonians 2:4, is the one who will oppose and will exalt himself over everything that is called God or is worshipped, so that he sets himself up to up in God's temple, proclaiming himself to be God. Clearly, this has not yet happened. No one since Paul's time has set himself up as God in the Jewish temple. 2,000 years have passed since the epistles was written, and the day of the Lord has not yet come. Paul assures us that he will not come until the falling away comes first. And the falling away it consists of antichrist and couples, but we all know that didn't happen yet. So that's what we talked about during our evening prayer. So I still try to encourage uh, even my friends to if they don't know the Lord, to if you don't know the Lord, it's the time is now to get to know the Lord and form that relationship. It's not an overnight experience to form that relationship with the Lord, but give it a shot. You never know. Give it a shot. Can't make things no worse than what you're going through now. So that's what we should do. As humans, we need to accept the Lord as our personal Savior. You know, everybody's not going to agree with me. That's okay. I'm just doing my part to get people to know the Lord. That's what I try to do. You know what I mean? That's what I try to do. So y'all stay tuned for some more topics that we're going to talk about. And I guess down the road, I'm just going to go over different things about the Bible to explain, even if I have to go back to the book of Genesis to explain some things, because the old temple, the old scriptures goes with the new scriptures. You have to read the Old Testament to understand the New Testament. That's what I'm trying to say. So y'all stay tuned. Some more topics that we're going to talk about, and they're going to be, they're going most not all of them, but a lot of them are going to be coming from the Bible. I'm going to be talking about the Bible. I'm not a preacher, so don't be trying to quote me, say, "Oh, you ain't no preacher." I'm not a preacher. I'm not a preacher. My church is New Philippian Baptist Church. My pastor there is Reverend Aaron C. Lee Sr. Our church is located at 711 Heston Road. Feel free to come check us out. Come listen to my pastor preach. He preaches the unadulterated word. He preaches about the birth, the death, and the resurrection. He comes from the Bible. That's what he preaches about, the Bible. So come check us out, y'all, and stay tuned for some more biblically scripted videos. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.